I think a lot of people can agree that this year's observance of Martin Luther King Jr. Day takes on a renewed meaning. For the better part of 2020 and the first week of 2021 have been a set of tumultuous events that have left the nation divided. Joining us on how the Low Country will celebrate a man who fought and died for civil rights and social justice is Lavanda Brown, Executive Director for the YWCA of Greater Charleston. We are also delighted to be joined by philanthropist Anita Zucker, who will be keynote speaker of the celebration's upcoming summit. Ladies, it's so wonderful to see you both. Thank you for joining us. My first question is going to be for you, Lavanda. Now, there is meaning in every MLK observance, but how will this year be different than years past?
Wow. Well, this year we're virtual, so that is the first thing that is incredibly different. We are just on the tail end of a very challenging year, for most of us professionally and personally, emotionally, spiritually. It has been 2020 was a challenging year. So I think that this year, more than ever, I know in my lifetime of celebrating Dr. King, the focus on healing and restoring the dream and moving forward with unity is very, very important.
Do you feel like people have lost sight of that? I mean, people worked so hard to get to a certain place, and do you feel that some of that progress has been wiped out?
Unfortunately, we tend to go through cycles where we make a lot of progress and then we, something happens and we find ourselves back where we were. I have hope and I maintain hope that this will be different, that we have a generation of young people who are very engaged and really ready to make a difference. And I believe they will not let the vigor that they have started this movement under, I don't believe that they will let it die.
Well, in fact, the theme of this year's set of events is Restore the Dream, Repair Our World. Repair indeed. Anita, you and your late husband, Jerry, have been formidable philanthropists here in the Low Country. With the way that you've seen things play out across the country over the last several months, what are you hoping attendees and those simply remembering Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. take away from this year's events?
I think most importantly, we've been living through some really difficult times, and the social injustice has been unbelievably sad to watch, and we have to take a stand. And Jerry and I very much believed in something called Tikkun Olam, which means repair of the world. And so we are big believers in repairing our world, and that is what I work towards. And I think we have to stand together. We all have to fight hate. We cannot be bystanders. We have to have a bias for action, and we have to stand together as a community and not allow the kinds of things that have taken place this past week ever take place again. We have to remember the past and we have to move forward. And I'm talking about what happened with Dr. King, what's happened with my own people. We can't allow the oppression to continue in our world. And we have to stand together, because if you looked at what happened this past week, there was quite a bit of anti-Semitism and hate around Jewish people, as much as there is today around people of color. And so we have to stand together as one. And that's what I believe. And so this is such an important celebration of Dr. King's memory. We do have to restore the dream, and we have to repair our world.
Absolutely. That's a wonderful message. And Lavanda, maybe you can just give us briefly, we only have about 30 seconds left, but some of the events that are going to be taking place. You say it's going to be virtual as opposed to last year, which you filled a crowded ballroom. So things are going to be quite different indeed.
It is going to be quite different. We're kicking off on Thursday with the MLK Blood Drive, which is the only in-person event we have. We need blood. We are at a blood crisis right now with COVID, particularly for people of color. That's going to be at the Revelation of Christ Church on Remount Road. We are going to have our ecumenical service virtually. It's going to be on Sunday at 4 p.m. Our parade is going to air, and then our MLK Unity Breakfast or Summit, as you will, this year is going to be virtual, and that's going to be on Tuesday, January 19th at 7:30 a.m. All of these events and all of the links to register are on our website, ywcagc.org.
Wonderful. And for anyone who's interested in joining the YWCA, you have some wonderful programs there. You are champions of women in the community. Where do people go?
YWCAGC.org. There's a link that says join our mission, and becoming a member is $50 for the year, and you get all the information, and you get to join us in this fight for equity.
Wonderful. Ladies, Lavanda, Anita, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
We're back after this.